Hello and welcome to Question Hour on Rajya Sabha TV, the show that gets you about the questions asked by the members in the upper house and reply given by the ministries and departments. I'm your host Rajat, joined with my colleague Kriti Mishra.
Thank you so much, Rajat. And as our viewers know that we get all the important questions asked by the members of the upper house in the previous sessions and the written replies given by the government.
Well, broadly speaking, there are three categories of questions asked by members. First is the start, and then unstart, and the short notice questions. Now, start are the ones where replies are given directly by the ministers on the floor of the House.
And in this show, we'll get you all the unstarred ones, and these questions are the ones of which replies are given by the government in written format. So, Rajat, let's begin the show.
Well, the first question of this edition of the show asked by members Mahesh Podar and Tiruchi Siva. The members asked from Ministry of Women and Child Development about the state-wise list of number of special courts formed under the POSCO Act 2012 and the statewide number of judges appointed in the special court formed under Protection of Children Against Sexual Offences Act 2012, and lastly, statewide list of number of district child protection units formed and receiving funds, as these units are responsible for rehabilitation and alternative care of children along with other services.
And responding to this query, the government says that Section 28 of the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act or POSCO Act 2012 provides that state government shall, in consultation with the Chief Justice of the High Court, by notification in the official gazette, designate for each district a court of session to be a special court to try the offences related under the POSCO Act. And as informed by the Department of Justice, setting up and functioning of the special courts comes under the state of respective state governments, and the courts set up by the state governments in consultation with the high courts concerned. Besides, as informed by the Department of Justice, an amount of 99.43 crore has been released to 27 states and UTs for setting up 649 fast-track special courts, including 360 exclusive POSCO courts. And joining us on the Question Hour show is Rajya Sabha MP, Mr. Tiruchi Siva. Sir, welcome to Rajya Sabha TV, and thank you so much for joining us through this virtual platform.
Good evening. Good evening.
Sir, as you know, we collate all the important unstarred questions asked by the members of the upper house in the previous sessions of the Rajya Sabha. And talking about the 251st session, you asked a very important question about the POSCO Act. What is your take on the answer, sir?
See, recently the Supreme Court has directed, based on a suo motu PI petition, that the increasing number of cases on child abuses and which are pending before the courts, it has passed a very strict and very important order that the central government should set up 100 special courts in each district where the cases of child abuse and sexual abuse have increased. More than 100 cases it has registered. And it's very sorry to say that the Crime Record Bureau does not have the data of the child abuse cases. It's very pathetic. And so also the NCPCR, which is to take care of the rights of the children, they also don't have any clear data of the cases that are regarding the child abuses cases. See, in India there are 1.5 lakh cases, and in UP itself it is 44,000, and in Maharashtra it's 19,000. And only 10% of the cases have been completed trial. Around 30%. 10,000 out of the 10,000 cases have been completed trial, and 30% cases have only been punished. Means out of 1 lakh, it is only 3,000 people who have been punished. And the court has clearly, very rightly observed that in many courts which are trying these cases, the infrastructure is very in a backward condition. For example, if a victim is being heard by the magistrate privately, there will be only a curtain between the accused and the victim. It's all very sad. See, we say we are a developed country, we are advanced in economy, we are advanced in science and everything. But the court which is dealing with such a sensitive case, and child abuse we cannot imagine. You can remember that the Rajya Sabha passed some amendments to the POSCO Act that it goes up to the death penalty for those who are accused, who have been indulged in very severe crimes, and also imprisonment for those who are involved in child pornography. And of course, these things alone will not serve the purpose. Speedy trial alone will solve the issues. Because only if anyone comes to know that those who are being tried or who are being accused of having committed a crime, only if they come to know that they are punished very severely, then only the others will be cautious enough that they will not indulge in such cases. The CJI has rightly observed delaying of this inquiry, you cannot give any justifiable reasons. He was very sorry about that, and the Supreme Court has directed the Solicitor General to file a progress report within 4 weeks, and the court will again hear it at September 26th or so. So I think at the right point of time, the court has intervened, and this setting up of courts will, of course, speedy the trial cases of child abuse under POSCO Act. So it is just not, see, many cases are pending with the police station itself. Police station delays for obvious reasons. So when a law is on roll and it is active means, everything should be fast, and it must be felt by the people that law is in hand that would help them. Cases are being not properly investigated by the police and pending there, and an accused who is powerful is able to get out from the police station itself. And second, after even it reaches to the court, if they are not tried as fast as should be, there is no use. The victim would, by that time, people who are traumatized, they won't get what they should get by way of their justice, either by way of compensation or anything. At least mentally they should have. See, in the Nirbhaya case, we are well aware, everyone was suffering. Either they didn't want anything by way of monetary help from anyone. The culprits must be punished. So also that too, a child, when so lower in age, when he's being victimized, and if they are not compensated properly by way of justice or judiciary or by way of judiciary inquiry, it's very, very pathetic. So the PIL that has been registered by the Supreme Court has come on the right time, and the bench headed by the CJI has also given a very good judgment that these special courts, 100 special courts in each district. As I said, the number of cases are increasing. They are not tried in the courts, and if the culprits are not punished, there is no meaning of we enacting a law. Right. So if a law is in place, it should make the people believe that they have some tool to protect them, not to hit at anyone else. So I think this setting up of special courts would at least pave a way of hope or ray of hope to the people who are affected, and it would, I think it's a good sign.
Right, sir, that's a very important point that you're making. Thank you so much for joining us and speaking to Rajya Sabha TV. And let's move on to the next question asked by member S. Muthukurappan, and this question pertains to the Ministry of Jal Shakti. And the member has asked whether it is a fact that 10 crore individual toilets have been constructed. As a result, areas in all states have declared ODF or open defecation free on 2nd of October 2019, and whether it is also a fact that second phase of Swachh Bharat mission will focus on open defecation free plus program and the details thereof.
Replying in affirmative, the ministry said that total 10.29 crore individual household latrines have been constructed in the rural areas of country since the launch of Swachh Bharat Mission Grameen on 2nd of October 2014, and all the states and union territories have declared themselves open defecation free as on 2nd of October 2019. Now, a Swachh Bharat Mission Phase 2 has been approved by government with the objective to focus on sustainability of ODF status of all villages and to cover villages with a proper solid and liquid waste management arrangement. The program will also work towards ensuring that no one is left behind having access to sanitation facilities and everyone uses a toilet. Answering further in the reply, the sustainability of ODF status will mainly include construction of individual household latrines to newly emerging household, construction of community-managed sanitation complexes and regular information, education and communication and follow-up activities for ensuring used toilets by everyone. Now for SLWM, the main component are biodegradable and plastic waste management, grey water management and fecal sludge management. Well, moving on to the next question that was asked by member Vinay P. Sahasrabuddhe from Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. The member asked whether any kind of new and innovative measures have been undertaken by ministry in general or its various departments or public sector undertakings and the autonomous bodies associated with it to improve work culture, bring more transparency and accountability and also enhance result orientation during the last 5 years.
And the government says that during the last 5 years, the ministry as well as National Highways Authority of India has taken various new and innovative measures to improve the work culture, enhance transparency, accountability and result orientations. Some of these measures are Bhumi Rashi portal for online processing of land acquisition, notifications and payment of compensation to the landowners, ERP software, which is Enterprise Resource Planning Software, an integrated digital platform to manage and control various NHAI projects, a centralized command and control center in NHAI for close monitoring of various ongoing projects and Gati software for project monitoring regarding extension of time and change of scope. These measures have helped in bringing in more transparency and accountability in overall working and speedy execution of various projects handled by National Highways. And let's move on to the next question asked by member Anil Desai, and this question pertains to the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports. And the member has asked whether it is a fact that wrestling is a traditional activity in rural Maharashtra and whether government has any plans to provide any special training facilities to all the pehelwans from rural Maharashtra or background otherwise to sharpen their wrestling skill to win more and more positions in international sports events, and if so, the details thereof. And the member has also asked about the steps being taken by the government to reduce political interference in sports administration in the country.
For replying in affirmative, the ministry said the promotion of specific sports discipline is responsibility of concerned National Sports Federation. This ministry supplements the efforts of National Sports Federation by implementing the scheme of assistance to National Sports Federation, under which funds are provided to recognize National Sports Federation for conducting national or international tournaments, participating in international events, coaching camps, purchase of equipment. Now, sports discipline of wrestling has been placed in the high priority category. Resultantly, the Wrestling Federation of India gets requisite and adequate financial assistance for preparation and participation of Indian wrestlers in international events. Further, the Sports Authority of India is implementing various sports promotional schemes in wrestling. Now, the Sports Authority of India is providing international standards for sports facilities to wrestlers including rural and backward areas of the country. Now, at present, a total of 422 wrestlers, 386 boys and 36 girls are being trained under various sports promotional schemes of Sports Authority of India. Now, National Sports Development Code of India 2011 lays down basic universal principles of good governance for national sports federations. The code lays down federation must be autonomous and resist all pressures of any kind whatsoever, whether of political, religious, racial or economic nature. Now, further, in order to ensure that national sports federations function in a democratic manner and are free from undesirable interference in sports administration, the government has prescribed model election guidelines to be followed by national sports federations for the elections, which has been made an integral part of the code.
So, Rajat, these were the important questions and answers in this edition of the Question Hour show.
Well, thanks for watching Rajya Sabha TV, and you can also follow all our programs on the online platform of YouTube.